Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another great session of The Leader Next Door. I'm very, very excited today because you get to meet Angie. And Angie is just a rock star. And what I like to tell people is I often will feel my way into people before I think about them. And I felt Angie long before I ever had to think about her. And I can tell you, I knew she was a rock star right off the bat. And then I heard her story and I thought, my gosh, I got to get her on for an interview. So Angie, first off, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Great. So if you would just kind of give us a brief overview of what you do. And I know you've got an interesting story. So kind of tell us how you've got to where you're at and what you're up to.
Sure. So, hey, everybody, Angie Trigilio. I am a creative director turned creative coach. I worked in the creative industry, started as a graphic designer, into a team lead, into a creative director for nearly 20 years. So I've kind of seen it all. And I came up through leadership and I kind of realized there was sort of a void there. I was given a team, but maybe not a lot of direction, or I was given told to hire people without direction. So I really saw a void, especially in the creative field. So I was working as a creative director, just to back myself up a little bit. And we worked in the hospitality industry. So obviously in March that there was a big disruption in that industry with COVID. So I was put on furlough, and then my role was actually eliminated at the end of May. So I took some time to think about things, and the more and more I thought about it, the more I realized I wanted to, come from a place of service and help others and really fill that leadership void and teach people, specifically how creative people, how to, grow their leadership skills, how to navigate that industry and their career path and do really intentionally. So I started my own career coaching business with, again, a focus on those creative professionals. And I also offer some services around brand building. So if you need help with your resume, LinkedIn, portfolio, we can work on that too. And then I'm just diving into the digital course arena. So my first course is actually launching this week. It's called Emerging Leaders, and it's for emerging leaders, those who are new to management or want to get into management. I'm giving you a framework for, step by step, what you can do to prepare yourself so you can lead with confidence and grace.
That's awesome. So you're right. Our timing's pretty darn good, huh?
Yeah,
So
totally.
What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to share, two or three things about leadership that you've learned through your experience and your wealth of knowledge that our listeners would want to know about, and maybe an action step or something they can implement to become a better leader.
Okay, good question. I think my default answer always is lead with transparency and authenticity. I think the more people can just trust you, get to know you, know you have their back, and that you lead with candor so that you are just being yourself and someone who's approachable. I feel like those are the people I've learned the most from. And I think I've been able to teach more people because they're more receptive to you, to actually want to sit and talk with you. They're not intimidated by you because you're really being approachable. So I feel like that's so pivotal with a leadership, and a leader that you can trust and, go to. Let's see. A piece of advice I would say is to kind of be a sponge, always learn every day, read the books, read the blogs, um, ask a lot of questions, absorb as much as you can. I'm always taking courses, I'm always listening to podcasts, doing whatever I can to, further my education, and then the more you learn, the more curious you become. And I feel like curiosity is such an understated personality trait. I think it's actually the number one thing I look for when I'm hiring is really good questions, somebody who's being really thoughtful and wanting not to just pick apart a problem, but to understand the problem, get to the root of it, and then come to you with, really strong solutions or even more questions around what they could do better or why this could work stronger, or whatever it is. So I feel like being curious and always learning is so critical.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I loved your answer. I think that I've been doing some professional speaking for quite a while now, and I coach people on speaking as well. And I think it's one of the things it's critical in life, and that is transparency. I'll share a brief story with you. I remember I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the night before, I'm sitting in the hotel lounge, and there's like this 88-year-old black man playing the piano. And this little old dude could play everything. And I mean everything: blues, show tunes, jazz, country and western, pop, rock. He could play it all. And so I asked the waitress if I could buy him a drink. And she said he doesn't drink anymore at his age, but he'd love to have you buy him a cup of coffee. So on his break, he came over. I bought him a cup of coffee, and we were getting to talk. And I'm a musician myself. I play guitar. And he said this. He said, "Music from the heart touches the heart." And I've since morphed that into anything from the heart touches another heart. And so I love what you said. And like I said, I felt you. I knew you were this kind of person. And I mean that sincerely, because if you're a transparent leader, you're leading from your heart, right? You're leading from your true essence of who you are, your beauty, your glory, your skills, the things that you've come to the planet with. And so when you're transparent and we get to see the chinks in your armor as well as the armor, you're leading from your heart. And I can tell you from my experience, people will follow you rather wherever you want to lead them. That's powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Thanks. That's an awesome story. I actually grew up in the Cleveland area. So
did you?
Shout out to Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you or reach out to you and learn more about leadership or this new digital program you're having, how could they get a hold of you, Angie?
Yeah, there's two best ways are to just find my website, which is checkpluscoaching.com, or I'm super active on Instagram, and my handle there is checkplus_coaching.
And so is that check spelled CHECK?
Yep. Think Check Plus like what you wanted to get in grade school, like a high achiever, like an A+, but a Check Plus.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Anything else you'd like to add before we call it a day?
No, I think I would just love to hear from anyone who is in this space, who wants to grow themselves, who wants to learn. I have a ton of free resources on my website, as well as in like my bi-weekly newsletter. So if you're interested, sign up for my newsletter and connect with me on Instagram. And that's kind of where the best conversations are happening. I share a ton of free content there that I think anyone who wants to do personal or professional development, and you're either junior in your career or getting into management, or who just likes pretty feeds, find me there. I also talk a lot about your career season. So whether you are, in a growth stage, so you're junior and you're kind of looking to develop yourself, whether you're in a lifestyle stage, perhaps you have littles at home and you want to pare back and go to a part-time situation, or you are in like a reinvention stage like myself, where you're totally doing something new. My coaching style caters to all three of those seasons. So if you're interested, I'd love to hear from you.
Sounds good. And just real quick too, you talked earlier about creative. So you're looking for graphic designers, artists, those kinds of people?
Yeah, anyone that you would think is in an in-house agency, a marketing team, an advertising agency. That's where my experience is. That's where I grew up in my career. So those are the industries I innately know. I'm noticing that I'm attracting kind of people who perhaps aren't in those industries, but feel like they have a creative soul, or they want to do something else that's more creative. So I am welcoming those two, anybody who is resonating with my message, but that's where I'm targeting.
Sounds good. Well, again, I want to thank you. I know we're all busy, and thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And it was an honor and a pleasure. And you just are busy being the light. You are a transparent leader, and you're just you've got you just light up the room. And so you've got a beautiful smile. And again, thank you very much. And I'm sure everybody's going to get great value out of this. So thanks for sharing your wisdom with us.
Yeah, thanks for your time.